When I found out that a mutual friend of JD's and me was going to go out to the property, I asked right away if I could go with him.
This is going to be working with me, but now that I start to see the way town is
I had heard so much about it. I'd seen pictures of it. It just looked wonderful. And I knew that my husband and I would love to go out and see it and to meet JB face to face.
There was going to be 3 picnic areas, 3 campsites. You would kind of know your neighbors maybe, or an airsoft guy could rent this. This is called the wood camp. So they could set up a little airsoft where they have 2 sides fighting. They shoot machine guns at each other in the woods. The little BB guns. So there was a little bit of interest in people wanting to camp here on a horseback trail that rode through the middle of it. And this was as far as I got. So this is called Flapping Fish Ditch. There's 2 gray squirrels that live right over there, and they'll probably jump up if the dogs yap real high, yip 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 kind of sound, then they're on the gray squirrels. And you want to watch them because they will jump right in front of you and land slow motion. I've seen it twice out here. It's like you and God in a squirrel moment. It's something. But I thought of you when I made this, and I wrote your name on it. I don't remember why I made it. Oh, yeah. This was my worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario for
Leaving.
oh,
This would be finding a 1 or 2 acre compound somewhere and dragging my shit to it. Container, dogs, RV, light truck.
that's all the stuff you need to take care of.
Well, this is everything. This is best case scenario, getting the homestead, trying to stay alive without floundering and having to eat my damn dogs. It's pretty dismal, but
Well, the best case scenario isn't dismal. It's that other one that's dismal.
well, yeah. Yeah. You know, I was always in her corner. I always stood up for her. Never be the only one to stand up for a family member.
I've had my problems.
So like the worst. Worse than Judas. Worse than Judas. Judas, it's said, sold out Christ for a bag of coins, right? Well, that's stupid. Judas was around. He saw the miracles. He saw all that shit going on that people were talking about. He wasn't interested in no bag of coins. He wanted to bring about the prophecy.
Exactly.
So he ratted Christ out. He says, yeah, he's over at the Holiday Inn, you know. So the Romans show up and crucify him. You know, and then there's Judas saying, yeah, fuck the coins. Where's the prophecy? And there was no prophecy. You know? She's worse than Judas because she went for the coins. She didn't try and fulfill. The prophecy was Grandpa giving me the farm. And the sole survivorship of the deed, that came down from the neighbor trying to avoid taxes. So when he died, the property would go to his family and they wouldn't have to pay taxes. Sole survivorship, right? It was designed to be a tax cheat, and it wound up creating a 40-year family feud. Tiny girl.
He got
Alright.
snake bit on the leg.
She got snake bit on the snout. Better patient cat. Sat there and let the the shaving of the head and all that, and the pink stuff and so forth. When I took her in to get fixed after she had her litter here, she was dumped up at the top. She had a litter, and I took her in to get fixed, and she was vicious. She was mean and vicious.
Was she feral?
Well, she was a kitten.
Oh, she was a kid.
Yeah, she was a kitten up at the top.
Oh, okay.
So
I
I
misunderstood.
mini biked. I put him in my shirt, and I mini biked back down here. And at any rate, the cats. I raised the cats, and she had a batch, 5 more. I took her in and I put her in a basket that said "wild creature." And when I went to go pick her up, they said she's not a wild creature, and she's been peaceful, docile ever since. So I don't know what they did to her. But she
Set her down and give her a good talking to.
That's what I was thinking.
the vet this time. I'm holding the cat in the parking lot. We're leaving, and the vet was a visiting vet, and the other vet came in and said, "Do you mind if our visiting vet looks at your animal?" And I said, "Well, no. Why would I? No. Yeah, the more eyeballs, better, right?" And so I told him a little bit about what happened, cat, and how we got the wound to close up after poking her guts in her, and she looked back at the cat and she said, "Well, you did a good job." My stitching on Pogo yesterday is not holding up very well, and I can't stitch a straight line, but with her it was no stitching. It was just the cats glue back together pretty quick, and thus they risked the abscess from closing up too quick. So when I got everything back in there, I said, "Well, let's close it up," and it was clean. So at any rate, the woman says, "Well, your cat's probably a lot in your demeanor. Here's this visiting vet. It doesn't mean anything to. I don't mean anything to her." She took a moment to say, "Your cat is rather remarkable, and it's probably something to do with it." And so, I don't know if that's the old smoke up the butt deal or not.
Probably
but
not. No reason for her to do that.
It felt honest. It felt honest, and a lot of my moments out here are completely forgotten and gone, but they're honest, and that's what I value about being out here. Is it's I get to be whatever I want. I don't have to participate in the. It's almost like like a production out there, or a play. Go to work and you have your lines that you say, right? And that's swell, except after a while you start falling into it, and then you're saying lines with people in restaurants for no reason. Oh, did I mention I went to Harvard? What the fuck is that about? I don't give a shit about me in Harvard. So it's just I don't get distracted. I only got a couple of things worth getting up for, and I get to focus on them out here. On my book, my screenplay, or my motorcycle to circle the planet. My planet's because it's small. But we had 21. We were outlaw golf. But at any rate, you teed off from the top of that down to there. There's a little hole in the tree and a little postage stamp of some really nice grass. And